Well, if you have a clock tower, you need a clock. This set of mechanics here was built by Seth Thomas and installed here in 1909. Originally, it was powered by counterweights. Counterweights are on either side of the clock tower, and every day somebody had to crank them all the way up so that they would run the rest of the day by feeding down. Shortly after that, they installed an electric motor on here to run the counterweights up. There's a connection here that runs off a camshaft next to that pulls a lever that rings the bell every hour. 1, 2, 3 times depending what time it is. That was replaced probably in the 30s, maybe late 30s, with a small motor here that's 1 RPM. That's important because minutes are 60 seconds. The whole purpose is to turn this shaft up here on the left. This goes from this clock mechanism up to the next level and then splits in a transmission to each of the 4 clock faces. This thing had been installed for about 10 years. About 2 years ago, we made contact with a guy who came out here many times and still continues to. He got this part running. He had a friend who could fix that motor, which was stalled. And then he went up top and disconnected the rods and started lubricating the entire system. You can change the time without having to go up and see what time it is on the clock face, because this unit right here, it's synchronized with the gears going through the entire process. The problem with the clock faces are if you don't let heat escape up there, ice builds up on the clock face and stalls the hands. And that's what happened over the course of years. So the clicking and clanking that you hear here, every now and then it skips a beat because we're still working out the lubrication and the distribution and so forth. But we're getting there. It's been running and the 2 clock faces are synchronized and keeping time. So the only thing we didn't do in the fall was set the clocks back. So we were an hour ahead all winter long. But now we're back on time. Welcome to where the magic happens for the clock tower. This shaft and that shaft are currently running the one facing 6th Street and the facing 5th Street. The 2 on the other side, we've been unable to get to the lubrication points, so we can't get them moving, so we're waiting on those for a little bit. You can see the transmission here we're still working on. To turn that vertical shaft I pointed out to you downstairs into 4 ways. This, if you look carefully in either corner here, there's boxes that are where the counterweight used to attach. Up above us used to be the bell tower. There used to be an arm on it that pulled on the rope for the bell. The bell still sits next to the theater. It was too tall, it was too exposed to wind, it was not structurally safe to keep it. But we did keep this part of it. My sister and I came up here about 6 months ago and restored some of the lighting in a temporary manner, which you can see hanging from temporary cords, but it's set to a timer. And what's kind of neat about it is now as you come down 6th Street, or even up 6th Street, or even from 5th Street, as the dusk comes and it gets dark out, you can see light in the bell tower. which hasn't been in place for about 10 years. And it's quite exciting to see that down here with this lit up. This was the icing on the cake. We're going to make everything permanent once we've got all the gearing set. Return this, restore some of the masonry work, fix some of the glass, and make sure there's enough heat up here that ice doesn't form on the face of the clocks and stall the hands again.